Hi everyone, this is Lori here with Lori Hooks. Welcome. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So today's video is a crochet and chat. I just don't have much to show this week, and I thought instead of showing nothing or not doing a video, I would get on here and do a crochet and chat since I haven't really done a lot this week. So I thought I'd talk about why and what's going on with me and the other people in my household, I guess. And yeah, so I hope that you guys are all well. I hope that you guys have a project and a drink to work on and sip on while I'm chatting today. I have my coffee going in my Yeti. So I'll start out by saying I have a bad habit. My splurge, other than yarn, my other splurge is coffee. I go, and I guess some people are going to say that's not a splurge in the same way, but I go to Tim Hortons every morning and I get myself my coffee and I put it in my Yeti. So it stays hot because it takes me a long time to drink my coffee. I like to sip and enjoy. So while I'm chatting, I'm going to work on my granny square using Red Heart All-in-One Granny. I don't know how successful I'll be working on my square while talking because, you know, you have to keep your tension pretty even, and I've made enough of these granny squares that I know this round I have to hold it tighter and this round I can hold it a little looser. In case you're wondering about that, I find the early rounds, like especially the first round and the second round, they have to be pretty loose. And by the time I get to like the third round, I have to be a little tighter. And by the time I get to the very last round, it's pretty tight or else I don't have anything, I don't have a tail left. So today is Friday. I last recorded a week ago, so Friday passed. And I was saying in that video that our plan for Friday night, well, my husband told me his plan for Friday night was to finish the kitchen backsplash, which he did work on it on Friday night, but he did not finish it. He actually came home from work and had a little snooze, which is a pretty common thing for him to do, to have like a 20-minute or 30-minute little snooze on the couch. And his snooze on the Friday was extra long, and then we had dinner and he chilled for a little bit, and then when he didn't want to watch what my daughter and I were watching on TV, he started on the backsplash. So that was Friday. Saturday he finished the backsplash. It looks really good, by the way. We redid our kitchen. It's about 4 or 5 years ago we redid our kitchen cupboards and just didn't agree on what we should do for backsplash. I shouldn't say that. We did agree on tile. We didn't agree on who would install the tile. We did the kitchen ourselves. We're very proud that we did what we did. I shouldn't say we did it 100% by ourselves. A neighbor helped with cutting of some of the boards because we don't have a table saw. So he had a table saw and my husband had cut some of the really long boards together. And my dad came and helped with some wire rerouting that had to be done for the electrical. But other than that, we did it all ourselves. We demoed the floor, put the new floor in, did the cupboards ourselves. They are IKEA cupboards, so we purchased them and assembled them ourselves, and then I did a lot of the assembling. I'm weird like that. I like putting IKEA stuff together. So yeah, the cupboards, we installed all those ourselves, except for the one, there's like a tall cupboard at the end, and that one, the table saw neighbor helped my husband install, because that's actually where the really long boards were. They were the end pieces beside those, that really tall cupboard. And we decided to go with like a pretty, I wanted the more flashy colored, like terracotta type. Um, they're like, it's a fake peel and stick thing. Backsplash. You know, after 4 or 5 years of having no backsplash, I was just happy to have something. But I really wanted like a terracotta tile that was pretty colorful and busy, but my husband wanted the more muted blue tones one, so I gave him that. I let him have his blue tones. Um, so yeah, kitchen backsplash done. It looks really good. I'm very happy with it. Um, and it's peel and stick. If we get bored with it later, we can just tear it out. The cupboards are white and our counters are like a very dark gray. So if we, if we get tired of the colors or we need to change down the road, just take out those backsplash and put a new one in, and it totally changes the look of the kitchen. So the only thing I've left to do in there is I need to paint the window frame because the window frame never got painted, and I need to find a curtain for the window. I was looking at like a Roman shade because I just want the top of the window covered. So I was looking at like a Roman shade, but I think I'd have to get it custom made. So I don't know. That's my holdup on the window, is just this, what to do with the curtain, because I would like something, it can't come down too far because the stove is to the right of the window, so it can't be a curtain that comes down too far. It's got to be something that's just at the top, so I just want something just to cover the top little bit of the window, and it's a big window. It's I think it's 48 inches wide, or around that, somewhere between 45, 48, around there wide, so it's a pretty big window. So yeah, so that was our Friday night and Saturday. And then on Sunday, my husband, well, I finished the laundry and my husband packed his bag and I dropped him at the airport, and he flew out to Chicago for work in the afternoon. And when I got home, I went through the things in my, like, we moved back home in December, which if you don't understand what I'm talking about, go back. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, go back through my older videos. We were out of our house for several months late last year. So, but I put like a bunch of boxes in my closet that were summer clothes and just miscellaneous bathroom junk that I needed to go through. And what else was in there? Old linens, stuff like that. I put the boxes in the corner of in the bottom of my closet to go through later. So I went through those on Sunday afternoon, donated a bunch of stuff, got the rest of the stuff put away, organized, whatever. So that was Sunday. Monday I worked. It was a normal Monday. Tuesday, and actually I'll mention that Monday night, I think it was Monday night, I took a break from knitting or crocheting because my hands were just hurting so much. I had been knitting over the weekend like a fiend, trying to finish that cardigan, that knit cardigan that I'm working on. I had one sleeve left to do, and I think I just overdid it over the weekend. So on Monday night, I just took a break and I didn't really do anything. Just sat on the couch and watched TV in the evening. So that was Monday. And then on Tuesday, my son's in Calgary for work. He spent 3 weeks there in January. He spent another 3 weeks there in February. He left last Monday, so he's been there for a week and a half now, or almost 2 weeks. And he comes back March 23rd, I think. And then he says that they should be done doing the job they're doing. They're doing a machine refurbish and install in a plant there. So he texts me on Tuesday afternoon that he's on his way to the hospital. He's cut his head open. My son hurts himself regularly, cuts himself open regularly. He's had stitches more times than I can count. I could tell by the text and the wording of the text that he was concerned about the severity of the cut. Probably doesn't also help that he's not at home, that he's, he's with work people. These are the same people that he spent with the last 3 months, and he's worked for this company since last summer. So he knows these people, but it's just, he's not at home. To be honest, usually when he has to go to the hospital, even though he's 28, usually when he has to go to the hospital for stitches or something, usually mom and dad take him. Mom or dad, not mom and dad. I think one time his friend took him. That was the time he didn't tell me until after he got home. Wasn't a very big deal cut, but that time he didn't tell me because he was at the demolition derby, getting ready to drive his car at the demolition derby, and hit his head, cut his head open. He went to the paramedics because they have paramedics on site to get them to check to see how bad the cut was. They looked at it and said, yeah, it needs stitches. He said, okay, well, can you glue back together for now? I need to go run the derby. And they're like, you should go to the hospital and get stitches. And he's like, no, I'll live. I'm going to go run my derby first. So they said, okay, we'll glue it for you. So they glued the cut, and he went and ran his demolition derby anyways. They went and got stitches afterwards, and that was when his friends took him. And came home that night and told me. He did get a lecture, don't worry. But boys will be boys. He's going to do what he wants to do. There's not much point in me lecturing him. But anyway, so he texted me on Tuesday afternoon that he cut his head open and he was on his way to the hospital in an ambulance. And I could tell by the wording that he was worried. He called me once he was at the hospital, but the doctor hadn't seen him yet. I don't think she'd seen him yet. No, he called me right after she came in, but she hadn't done anything at that point. She just looked at it. So when he called, he said, yeah, he said there was enough blood and stuff there that he thought he was missing a chunk. And she said, no, the cut's not a clean cut, but it's pretty jagged, but it's all there. There's nothing missing. So she could just staple it, I guess, and clean him up, staple it, and send him on his way. Which is what she did. Yep, she got him cleaned up. 11 staples. Sent him on his way. I told him to talk to them, make sure that he was okay to fly home when it's time for him to come home, or if he wasn't able to work and need to come home early, to make sure that he could fly. And he said, no, that's fine. They did a concussion check. They said he didn't have a concussion, so that's good. Yeah. So if you can hear her, Sophie's laying here beside me. Do you want to see Sophie? Let's see. There she is. She's having a little snooze. She's doing the creepy eye half open thing. So that was Tuesday. I talked to him on Wednesday morning. Asked him what he was doing. He said he went to work because he didn't feel like sitting at the hotel by himself. That was boring, and that he was just at work doing light jobs. And that he was taking it easy, but he went to work. So whatever. Again, there's no point in lecturing him. I told him to take a day of relaxation, but he said he would be bored at the hotel and he didn't want to stay there all day, which I do get. The hotel room's probably pretty stark. He's not into watching TV really, so yeah, I could see him not wanting to sit around the hotel room all day because it's just not his thing. So that was Tuesday. Wednesday, thankfully, not eventful day. And then yesterday, my husband came back home from Calgary. I had to go pick up him and someone else that he works from the airport. We live really close to their work, so I went and picked them up and came back. They dropped me off at home and they went about their way to work the rest of the day. Their plane was supposed to come in at 5 after 10 in the morning, and it was an hour and a half late. Apparently there were, between plane problems and severe thunderstorms in Chicago, they were like an hour and a half late taking off. They sat on the runway waiting to take off for an hour and 15 minutes. So yeah, they were pretty behind schedule by then. So that has been my week, and because of my hands hurting, I haven't really crocheted very much. Just been kind of taking it easy this week, not doing a lot, doing the work stuff that I have to do, and that's partially why my hands hurt. When I'm typing a lot during the day, my hands hurt at night, and I have more trouble knitting and crocheting. So I think I have about 3 or 4 rows left on the sleeve for my knit sweater, and then it will be done, the knit portion, and I just need to sew it all together. So hopefully next week and next week's video I will have that sweater done, and I'm really looking forward to that. Sorry I cut my video off. What I was saying was that I like to finish that knit sweater before it gets too hot outside, so hopefully I can wear it once or twice. Although I'll tell you, warm weather takes priority over the sweater anytime. If I didn't ever have to wear a sweater again, I shouldn't say that. I don't mind wearing sweaters. I like being covered up, but if I had warm weather all year round, I would not complain. Maybe not like crazy hot weather, but warm weather all year round would be nice. So, yeah, that's that. So upcoming this weekend, we have a St. Patrick's Day game night we're going to a friend's house for on Saturday night that we are looking forward to. We haven't seen a bunch of these friends in a few months, so it'll be really nice to visit with them. Yeah. So, speaking of weather, is everywhere feel like they're way ahead of schedule this year? Our trees here have buds on them already, which seems way early. Like it was probably about a week ago they've got buds on them. So no leaves yet, but they actually have buds on the trees, which seems so early. But it's been so warm here. It's kind of overcast and gross today, but we've had a lot of really warm weather for March. And like on Wednesday, there were lots of people around in t-shirts, which is pretty unusual for March. I do remember a few March breaks when the kids were little, because I tend to remember the time of year a little bit better, because the kids being little and having beautiful weather on March break. I remember the one year, one of my friend neighbors, she watched the kids for me for the week. She offered to watch them. She had taken the week off work and said, if she watches my kids as well as, I don't remember if she had both my kids or if she just had my daughter. I know for sure my daughter is over there, but her daughter's the same age. She said, makes an easier time for her if the kids have more kids to play with. So, that if she didn't watch them, they would have been like at camp or something, so they wouldn't have been able to hang out during the day. So she watched them for me that week, and I remember that year was like super nice outside, that the kids would come home at night and be like, they had their shorts on because I didn't let them wear their shorts. So, and I didn't send them over. I'm trying to think, I probably have, because she has a key to her house. They probably could have come home and got changed their clothes. I'm sure she had a key back then. She does today, but I'm sure she had a key back then. But anyways, so this year the weather just seems super early. It doesn't seem like buds are normally on the trees this time in March. But I'm not complaining. I just hope that we don't get like a cold spell that makes it do something weird. I remember one year spring started a little too early and then we got like this really cold spell and then the leaves didn't fully come out that year on some trees. It was kind of weird. So I hope we don't have that. So, yeah, is it ahead of schedule there? Is it like that everywhere? I don't know. So I guess that's it for this video today. I finished, I think, a round and a half on my square. I think it was halfway through this blue round and I finished this green round. I should show you from the right side. It was as I said, it was halfway through this blue round and finished this one. Not a lot, but something. So anyways, I was glad I got to spend a little bit of time with you guys today. I was missing my yarny friends. So thanks for hanging out with me today. Thanks for subscribing to my channels. Thanks for liking my videos. And I'll see you next time on Lori Hooks. Bye everyone.